Welcome to the salubrious Sky car park, where we're about to do a masterclass in drag flicks with two masters of it, drag flicks, Kwan and Chloe. But first, let's hear from Ashley Jackson about how he feels being labelled a drag flick specialist.
I hate what you've just said. I really hate being known as a drag flick specialist. If I felt that I was never good enough to be in the team without my corner, then I would walk away from the game and it'd be time to call it quits. So I have a drag flick. It is something that adds to my game when I play out on the pitch as well, and there is added pressure that comes with it. Many hours that you've put into it hopefully show that pressure, you know, when the time really comes, that will pay off more often than it doesn't. But in reality, you're going to miss more than you score. It's just hopefully you score the ones at the right time.
OK, so there's no doubt that the drag flick is a potent weapon in the game, and you are going to teach me exactly how to do it, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Over to you then.
OK.
So, where do you start?
OK, so normally you will, some teams like the stopper to be in the middle of the goal, but later on you can move to the left, you can adjust the suit. So you have the stick stopper and then the drag flicker.
OK.
Some drag flickers like myself like to be at an angle, so maybe 45 degrees.
Why is that? What's the benefit?
Just so that the way the steps that you will take, it gives you a better angle of going to the right or to the left, and you can also build a little bit more power with your legs.
OK. Any preference, left or right, is the way you came into it?
No, because some players, as they go into the drag flick, some may get their left foot close to the ball. So this is the one we will look at today.
OK.
And then you will see a lot of them will cross to the back to get that big step, so they have a long drag. What you'll also see is, and Sorello, the Australian, some go into a little bit of a shuffle, so they may kick the other leg.
That's quite smooth, I like that. And shuffle. And
the idea behind it is, again, is just to pick that ball up from behind your body so you can transfer the weight from your right to the left.
How important is balance in that?
It is extremely important, because you want to get your body and your legs to give it the maximum amount of power. Okay.
And core strength, I'm sure, is very important.
Yeah, so the core is of course important, and the back is also very important. What you'll see most coaches focus on is, if you want to maintain power, you want to keep your head over the ball for as long as possible. So when I go into the drag flick, and so I'm going to cross to the back, I'm going to keep my head over the ball, but I'm going to pick the ball up from behind my body. So I'm going to have a longer drag, and this longer drag means that I can build more speed up.
OK.
Yeah. So if I walk through one slowly, left foot, cross to the back, so got a big step, but big enough that I'm balanced, head over the ball, big drag, and follow through, staying low. So it's really important to keep your head over the ball and staying low.
And do you decide beforehand where the ball's going to go? Do you pick it out in your mind?
Yeah, sometimes, depending on if you have some information on the goalkeeper. You may know if the goalkeeper has a certain weakness, and you may pre-plan, or sometimes you just go on your feeling.
Your gut instinct.
Your gut feeling then, and that's normally what I like doing, just go on your gut feeling.
Do you give it a bit of a poker face as well? Just try not to give anything away by your body positioning where you're looking?
Yeah, of course. You always try to play mind games with the defensive unit as well. And you know, at the end of the day, penalty corners is a lot of drag flicker versus the goalkeeper. There are lots of bits happening with deflections and rebounders, and where the number one runners will run, how to defend it. But when it comes down to the top level, sometimes it's a lot. This guy here versus the goalkeeper, and there's how much deception you're going to use, or how much speed you're going to use to beat the goalkeeper.
Deception, I love it. We're quite good at that, us women, aren't we? How important is the drag flick in the women's game? How has it developed?
Yeah, it's definitely grown. It's got more and more influential in games now. Certainly with the Dutch, Marcia Pauwman has become notoriously very good at it, and she's certainly won a number of tournaments for the Netherlands using it. And it's becoming, the Argentinians again got their own strike force in Barry Nuevo, so it's becoming certainly more potent as it is in the men's game. I think for us it's about necessarily not so much strength, but using your whole body, and the deception comes in massively in the women's game because you haven't quite got the power of the men. I'm sure there'll be plenty of men that agree with that as well. How much preparation do you do for that? How much training? Is it specific training for this outside of your normal training? Yeah, as a corner specialist, if you don't want to be called that, but we would certainly spend hours doing this. We'd go off and do individual sessions on their set skill, but also come together as a group, as a training session, and put it all together with the injection, the stop, and the drag flick as well, and try and use combinations off that. But you'd certainly spend a large portion of our time working on that.
OK, can we get into the starting position again as you as the stopper?
Yeah, sure.
Let's have a little look. So, right, where would you stand to start then, Kwan?
Yeah, so I'll stand, as I said, 45 degrees.
Yep.
Some flickers will stand directly behind it, some a little bit to the left of the ball. It's all how you feel comfortable. But I said, for me, I like standing at 45 because I have a feeling that I get a better angle to go right and to the left. And also, I just feel I can get more power, so I can get a bigger step.
Yeah. And how far from the ball? Is that how you normally be?
Yeah, so this is how far I'll normally be from the ball. And the other bit about it is sometimes, like you can use different techniques. So you'll see some players, as they've gone in for the drag flick, they move the ball down the stick and then back up the stick to generate some power.
Yeah.
And some will probably carry the ball close to the head of the stick. And when you really get into the detail of it, some sticks are even made with a little bit of a bend at the bottom to give you a little, to get a hold of the ball, and that makes a massive difference. So most of the top drag flickers will probably have a little bend.
But that's not cheating?
It's not cheating. They've made a rule, actually. There's a certain amount of bend that you could have, because before it was ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, teams. I won't knock it too much because I was one who had a very a stick with a massive bend.
Like a big banana.
Yeah, and you can generate so much power from it, and it was quite dangerous.
I don't know about you, but I'd quite like to see one at full pace. Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, I can try. I haven't got the... I'm not making any excuses, but I've got...
I don't want to hear those excuses. I just want to see out-and-out power now and speed. Now, obviously, you're not getting the injector involvement here, so but the ball comes out at quite a reasonable pace, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? And just to put some perspective on it, I know we're focusing on the drag flick, but coaches like to say, the guy injecting, the player injecting, that ball needs to be quick and accurate. And there's nothing that can happen up here if that is not well done.
So quite a lot of pressure then from them.
If you put a percentage on it, people put different percentages on it. I will say close to 70% of the corner is with this guy getting it quick and fast here.
We used to time our injections. We used to get timed on how quick they'd come out and get to top and how accurate they were. If the drag flicker has to move a little bit, it puts them out of their stride and their sync. So to get it as accurate as possible, so they've got no excuses not to deliver now as the top is key as well. OK,
we're going to move the ball a bit further back because I want this to look as realistic as possible.
Well, and because of these same injections that we're talking about...
Shall I move the keeper to the middle of the goal?
Yeah, we can move the keeper.
I'm not going to be the keeper. Can I just quickly clarify that? OK. Good luck, mate. You'll need it. Go over here, well out the way.
You OK there?
Yeah.
So it's come out, trap. I'll move out the way.
Oh, that is beautiful. Very smooth.
And talking about the injections, sometimes, like Ashley Jackson, he had to change his run-up because we're smaller, we get a lot of power and speed from our legs. So, like me, I still take the ball in a long way, which means defensively teams can block us and they can stop us from getting our flick away. So there's that sort of different technique as well, which is a longer drag, carrying the ball further in. Gives you a little bit more deception, but you're vulnerable to getting tackled.
Beautiful. Now, we know we've been working him hard, actually. We've got a high-mo version of you doing that from yesterday. Let's have a look. Talk through your body position here then, Kwan.
Yeah, so it's picking the ball up from behind your body, getting a big step with your left leg so you can generate as much power as possible. And what was really important is to keeping your head over the ball.
That's a lovely angle there, isn't it?
And the follow
and your
through.
Head position's interesting.
Yeah, keeping your head over the ball and following through with where you've delivered the drag flick.
How much analysis do you do of the drag flicks afterwards? Do you go back and break them down as slowly as we did that one?
Yeah, especially at the top level, it's really important to break every bit down of the drag flick to make sure you're generating as much power as possible. So we've been working with John Thrower, javelin specialist, and he spoke a lot about just the angle of your feet, so getting more hip rotations, and that's where the video analysis comes in, and it really helps you to develop a faster flick.
Will someone like Ashley Jackson have a different approach depending on the team that you're playing?
Yeah, definitely. If he's playing against a team that has a very good #1 runner, so the first guy running out for penalty corners, because of the distance he takes the ball in, he may have to move a little bit to his left. But I think he has made that correction for himself by shortening his run-up, and it just means that he can now flick left or right and not be worried about that first runner getting in the way.
You warm enough?
I'm fine.
You've got goosebumps. Tell us about the specialist in England camp for the girls.
Yeah, Kate Walsh, captain, is certainly a specialist now, I think. We had Krista Cullen for the 2012, and she's since retired, but they get targeted, so you're talking about the #1 flyer there. Sometimes they know certain people are drag flicking, and her favourite corner is to the right-hand side, for example. They will run and block that side of the goal. So Ashley might have found that example and had to adjust, because he knows that when he's playing against whoever it may be, the Australians, or they may actually target him and go, we're going to let you have the left-hand side of the goal because we know you don't like going there. But that's the beauty of the drag flickers. They've got so good now that they can pick where they want to go, which side of the goal, and no matter if someone's running straight at them, they will fire it at them. So certainly in the England camp, they've been working it hard and developed, and it is becoming a key part of the game for the women, really.
Presumably you've got to have backup drag flickers as well. Yeah,
with the rotational subs, your #1 striker might not always be on the pitch, so Ashley will get subbed in a game, Kate potentially could get subbed in a game for the women, and if they're not on the pitch, you can't bring them on just for a corner, so they have to have 2 or 3 people that can back up, and also just knowing that it's not always going to go to that person. If they're stood at the top of the circle, it's not always going to go to the #1 flicker. It might actually be a decoy and go to the #2 flicker. But you've got to have certainly 3 or 4 that can definitely do it.
So we've seen a rise in the drag flick at the top echelon of the sport, but what about the grassroots sport? Is this something that kids should be learning across the country at the moment?
I certainly think so. I think if you can learn it from a young age, certainly the technique of it, principle, and as you get bigger and stronger and grow, it will develop. If you've got the sound principle of technique, the same with perhaps any skill in a lot of sports, it works well, and you can develop that, as I say, as you get bigger and stronger.
It's another important string to your bow, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And especially because penalty corners can win you tournaments. It's really important that you've got, as Chloe said, you know, you're having 3, 4, even 5 drag flickers. And in the game we saw earlier on with Australia, you know, they had 3 different options. So it makes it quite difficult to defend.
Is it something that we can all learn, though? Is it something that I can just get better and better at? Because maybe instinctively there may be kids out there who don't feel that it comes naturally to them, but do you kind of encourage them to keep working on it? I
think, yeah, it's the same with a lot of skills. It's a thing that needs practice. It doesn't just come straight away and instantly you're not going to be the best flicker in the world. It's something that can be developed and work on, and as I said, there's more than one way that you can do it, and you can get tips off different people. You know how Kwan teaches it may be different to how someone else coaches it, but you can take a bit of both from different coaches that you perhaps see, and feedback from your people around you, teammates, is crucial. They can see that, have you tried this, or you know, have you thought about doing this? That something that you tinker with can actually change it and make it better. Okay, talking of tinkering, can I have a go? Teach me an entry-level drag flick, yes?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
What have I signed up for? What have you lot signed up for? This could get dangerous. We'll go this way, shall we? Yeah. Right, okay.
Okay, so you're going to stand behind, wherever you feel comfortable.
Okay.
So stand behind the ball. And get your left foot in when you take your step. Once your left foot is in line or in front of the ball, wherever you feel comfortable, let's have a try to cross
I'm not
at
sure
the back.
About this crossing. I quite like the
shuffle.
The shuffle. No, actually, no, I won't do the shuffle. I can't dance the rest of the time.
If you cross at the back, and then don't release the ball as yet. Get that, like, feel the ball on that back leg, so feel it on the behind your body.
Oh, so you're holding the stick here?
Yeah, and you want to transfer that weight from your right leg to your left leg. So and keep the ball on the stick, keep your eye on the ball, and just have a good follow through.
Watch the scarf.
Now, I'm not making excuses, but the scarf is getting in my way. Right.
So let's try the step first then. So you're going to start, you're going to go from the starting position.
So from here?
Yeah. Just take
step.
And then I'm immediate big step, or just a little step, and then the big step?
Whatever you feel comfortable with, but you want to get your left leg in line with the ball, or maybe just in front, however you feel comfortable.
Okay.
And then cross to the back. And then make a big step. That's all you're going to do for the while.
It's like learning dance moves, isn't it? Okay, so then like that.
Then,
Yeah, you got good.
That's not a
Yeah,
bad,
baby.
That's
Good
not a bad
power.
first one.
Good power.
Okay.